Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee. Today, I've got my friend Francisco. He has drove 2,000 miles all the way from Mexico City, Mexico to us here in Oliver Springs, Tennessee. We're so blessed that you've made the trip. He left Monday. Today is Saturday. What a long journey, but we know you Harley riders love a long trip, and we'd love to have you come here too. So we got his 2019 Harley Davidson Ultra. We're going to go from the GTS radio to the Soundstream Reserve V2. This is going to be the first install we've done with that radio. I'm excited to show it to you in a little bit more detail. But on top of that, we're going to put a big amp in it. We're going to put the Hertz SP4.900. It's a 1,000 watt RMS, 2,000 watt peak, plug and play amp in the fairing. We're also going to do the Hertz Neo speakers front and rear. And we're going to give you the highlights of it and hang around to the end because I want you to hear what it sounds like and see if the trip was worth the ride. All right, so a little bit more detail on what we're going to put in Francisco's bike. We've got the Soundstream Reserve V2 radio. We're excited. This is the first radio that does full wireless headset capability without the need of a WHIM. That means it can do any kind of headset, Sena, Cardo, in-ear Bluetooth. On top of that, it has the largest screen in the industry, 8.3 inches. The factory GTS was only 7. And a lot of you have asked, will it fit without modification? It's still using the exact same opening size, so it's going to bolt right into your fairing without any mods. Completely plug and play. It does so many more amazing things: wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, bigger internal amp, better RCA outs, better EQ. There's nothing been left alone on this, and with rally mode, if you get near someone else with the same radio, you can tie up to an unlimited amount of riders as long as they're within range together, and you can all play the same song at the same time. Pretty crazy. So once we get this amazing radio installed, we're going to use it to feed the input of our Hertz SP4.900. This is our full plug-and-play amp. We've already perfectly set it with an oscilloscope for this radio. It's going to go on the fairing, and it's going to power some amazing speakers. Up front, we're going to go to the Hertz SX165 Neo. They're 100 watt RMS, 200 watt peak, coaxial speaker, completely waterproof, going to be in the fairing behind some new, much better looking Hertz grills. In the back, we're going up to the SV165 Neo mid-ranges. They're a 200 watt RMS, 400 watt peak. Because they don't have a tweeter, they can handle even more power. They're going to go in the tour pack behind some beautiful new grills as well. And together, it's going to sound amazing. I can't wait to let you hear it at the end of the video. Let's get the bike took apart, get it installed, and I'll catch you in a few. All right, so before we even take the speaker out, you can tell the Hertz speaker is quite a bit larger than the factory speaker. Even though we have a place for a 6.5 inch speaker, from factory they actually did a 5.25 inch speaker and a 6.5 inch flange. So we're gonna use our same T25 Torx we used to take our fairing off earlier, and we're gonna remove these front speakers. Save all your hardware because you're gonna go right back in with that same hardware, as this Hertz speaker is a direct drop in. So it's gonna fit perfectly like factory. It's completely waterproof. No worry about rain, and we're going to have a much, much better sound. Check out the comparison between those two speakers. I mean, there's quite a bit more speaker, a lot larger magnet, and this just doesn't have any magnetic capability at all, whereas the other speaker will pick them right up. It's amazing these even work. It's really a feat of engineering. But we're going to go to the much better speakers. They're going to handle the power of our bigger amp. They're going to be loud. They're going to be clear. They're going to sound amazing all the way back to Mexico. All right, so we're going to take our terminals and squeeze those tighter. That way they'll stay on really well. All right, we'll get the other one swapped out. Let's get our grills swapped out, and we'll get these loaded back in the bike. All right, so we're going to run our new USB that comes with our radio into our storage pocket. First thing, let's just get everything out of the little storage pocket. So just take that little piece of foam, slide it out to make yourself a little bit of room. I want you to unclip the USB from the back of the pocket, and we're just going to push the factory USB into that pocket just a little ways. The reason we're doing this is on the back of your radio, you have a new USB. It's going to be a USB-C. It's going to work along with the factory USB, so now we actually have two USBs. But what we're going to do is we just push that forward just enough that we could get another grommet in behind it. So we're going to feed our new USB-C. We're then going to snap that wiring into the new grommet that came with our new Soundstream radio. Feeding it into that little crack. Just pushing that into it, lines up in the hole they've given us. And then we're going to push that together just to give us a little airtight seal there. All right, so now we have our new USB is installed into the pocket along with our factory USB. Now you're going to see this is a little long because it also works on the Roadglides. And then our factory USB is going to plug back into the one that says USB on the back of the radio. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back together with the plate. I just wanted you to see that a little bit better. All right, so we got Francisco's bike done. It's put back together. And we went to do our final test, our polarity test. And as we see quite often, our Tour Pack speakers are opposite from the front. We did our polarity test. We went to Volunteer Audio's YouTube channel. We played the track through the radio, and then we used this little tool to test it. We had 3 red and 1 green in the front, 3 green and a red in the back. So I'm going to go to my easiest speakers, and I'm going to swap them so they all match. We want to get the same readings front and rear. This is going to give us a better overall sound. It's going to make it sound more full and more enjoyable to listen to. I'm going to quickly pull these out and change that, and then we're going to see what it sounds like. We're going to pull our screen protector off. Look how beautiful that radio fits in that fairing. I love the gloss black surround. Matches the fairing wonderfully, and it's just huge. Huge screen. I'm going to go over to accessory. Looks beautiful. Look how big that screen is. Our first boot up of the radio. All right, so here we have all of our options. We're going to have wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, as well as built-in navigation. Watch our nav boot up. Select our language, our location, all of those things. Now you can go back in at the end and you can make some of these changes. I'm just going to get the radio booted up here. All right, let's go back to our screen and look over all of our different options. All right, so let's bring up our apps. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both are wireless. Built-in iGo Primo navigation, AM/FM radio. We have our custom gauges for our bike. All right, let's go back out of there. And I hit home. Back to our apps. Beyond our gauges, we also have our motorcycle info. This is going to give us battery voltage, EITMS status. Now this is active when it's running. Our voltage will be, actually, do you have a lithium battery in here?
Yeah.
All right, so 13.7 is accurate. It is a lithium. So we're going to see here our headlights, high beam, low beam, turn signals, things like our brake lights. They're all going to show here across the top. EITMS status as well. Tire pressure monitors if the bike has it. Sometimes it'll say NA until you take it down the road and they actually activate and turn on. So we've got all that information here. We also have our headset capability, Sirius XM if you've added the tuner and the fairing. We We also have our USB, so we're going to have a music USB. We're also going to have a high charge USB-C as well. We have our device list where we're going to add all of our phones here. Let's go ahead and connect the phone. So I just put my phone in pairing mode. So now we're going to see volunteer audio. We're connecting. Yes, we'll pair with it. Yeah, we would like to do wireless CarPlay. So this is our first connection ever. It's a little slower the first time. This thing is so fast to boot up after we've got a phone connected. All right, now my phone just asked me if I want to use CarPlay. I said yes. So now we're going to finish that connection. And just that fast. Look how big that screen is, how bright. Man, that thing is bright. Very, very vibrant. Got our maps. Knows where we're likely to be going today. Google Maps. It's amazing just how fast it loads. It's so responsive, so big, so bright. If we want to go back to our radio, we can actually go to our, select the Soundstream icon. You can also do all this through your thumb controls. So it works just so well. Beautiful radio. All right, the best part is here. The only thing left is to take the fender protector off and to take it off the stand. But before we do that, we want to listen to it and see just how awesome it is. Now, I got to tell you the truth. We've listened to a bunch of music. We just keep listening to different songs because it sounds so good. It's amazing how clean and how awesome this V2 radio is. It's allowing us to actually get a lot more out of our Hertz amplifier than we even normally would. Normally they sound amazing. It just sounds more amazing. So, Francisco, have you had a good day?
Yes, impressive. I'm hearing my bike and it's a totally different monster here.
So we've spent a couple hours. He's got to hang out, watch me and Robbie. Robbie's had to get out of here a little bit early, but we spent some time taking the bike apart, putting the new radio in, the amp, the speakers. We got to listen to it together. I've had a pretty good time just listening to all our different songs. But so I know you found us on the internet, obviously.
Yeah.
All the way in Mexico. You found us probably through YouTube, somewhere like that.
Through YouTube, yeah.
All right. So what does it sound like here compared to what you heard on the internet?
No, it's a totally different story, guys. You have to try it. Jay and the crew are impressive people. I really enjoyed the time here in Tennessee. I drove, as Jay said, 2,000 miles, and it totally worth it. So
awesome.
Please, you should contact him.
To drive for 5-6 days and say it's worth it is amazing. So here's the time that you've been looking forward to. I'm going to let you hear something. We're going to let it play for a minute. And then if the weather holds out, it looked a little cloudy a minute ago, we go down and do a little walkway and let you see how loud it is at a distance. It's hard to tell that in here, but let's play something. Francisco listens to country, a little bit of rock, so we're going to play something, a little bit of a rock tone to it here. It's pretty amazing. I know when you listen to it online, we're listening to it on our phone, maybe on some computer speakers. A lot of times you can't tell, you might be able to tell the clarity, but I know you can't tell what the bass is doing. And a lot of times it's so loud it kind of distorts our mics a little bit, which makes it a little more unclear as it gets to you through the internet. But we just had a little drum line there. I could pick out the cymbals, the kick drum, the different parts. So I think it sounds really good.
Yeah, it does. And you have to experience the V2 on the Hertz speakers. They are terrific. With the amplifier, this is something that I haven't heard at least in my life.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Let's take it outside. Let's see what it sounds like a little ways away from it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so the weather's held off. The bike sounds amazing. I gotta let you hear what it sounds like at a distance. So we have to play copyright-free music. We use a company called Epidemic Sound. I found something that's got a very rock and roll sound to it. We're going to play it. We'll walk away. We'll go maybe 100 feet or so. Just let you hear what it sounds like at a distance. Can't play it too long. We're going to get everybody upset with just how loud this is. It's the weekend. We're doing this off-site. We're not at our retail location. We're in a neighborhood. We're going to check out and see what it sounds like and see how long it takes before somebody tells us to cut it down. Bit of 100 foot wide, so there's at least 100 foot away. Still loud, still clear. Remember, this is the Hertz SP4.900. It's a 1,000 watt RMS amp feeding those 4 speakers. But that is just 4 6.5s. They're so loud, it's so clear. Francisco's very, very happy with the sound, and I'm tickled to get to do it. If you want your bike done like this, give us a call at 1-844-30-AUDIO. We'd love to talk to you about your bike, about your ideas. Get you something awesome put together that you can either DIY install or get you down to come see us in person. Check out all of our packages at volunteeraudio.com. Like this video by doing so, it moves us up in search results. It helps us. Subscribe to Volunteer Audio for more content like this, and definitely follow us on Facebook. Thank you so much, and as always, God bless.